Hey guys, what's going on? It's Andy. In this video, I want to talk to you about what's the difference between you or your company and your competition. Now, do me a favor. Grab a pen, grab a piece of paper, and I want you to write this down. This is important. Become so great at what you do, all right, or what your company does, that you make your competition look like amateurs. So number one, I'm going to point out amateur versus pro, which is a professional. This is you. This is your competition. Or this is you, and then that's your competition. They're the amateur. You've got to decide who's going to be better than who. And by the way, do you want to be one of the top 1% at whatever you do in your industry? If you do, you're going to have to do two things. Write this down. Number one, you're going to have to be undeniably the best at what you do. But what that means is that you're going to have to learn your business so well that literally, no one else in your industry knows your business better than you. And I mean every single aspect of it. Don't you ever let somebody else know your business better than you. Number two, try to figure out how to kick your own ass. Every single day, say, hey man, if I was gonna take me out, now listen, I didn't say take someone else out. Be real with yourself, look in the mirror and say, if I was gonna take me out, how would I take me out? Would it be because of my people? Would it be through the phones? Would it be through the face-to-face sellings? Would it be in the installers that I use with my product? Would it be in my product alone? Like maybe it's outdated, like I haven't updated it in a couple years. What is it? If somebody was gonna crush you and they were gonna come after you and kick your butt, what hole would they find in your game? That right there you need to think about. So number one, what is your leaks? And number two, do you know your business better than anybody else? And that's if you want to be a top 1%er. So what's the difference between you and your competition? It needs to be that you're better than them, and then number two, that you know your business better than them. Know your niche, get rich. Now this is important. When we talk about pros, right? Let's talk about a couple things. Number one, customer experience. This is a big deal to me. So if I'm dealing with somebody, the experience the client has, the customer has with me is everything. So there's like how good of a job that I do or how good of a job that my sales team does, but then there's the customer experience. Like, look, man, how did they perceive it? Did they love it? Are they a raging fan after doing business with us? And they're like, oh my gosh, man, I want to buy everything from this person or from this company. Because I'm telling you, that's not how amateurs operate. Amateurs aren't after building a business. Amateurs are after just making a paycheck. That's all they do. They go through life trying to make enough money to pay their bills, and if they get lucky, get a little extra money for vacations, okay? People that go to build great businesses, or for you as an individual to build your business up, make a ton of money and kill it and crush it, we're gonna have to be a top 1%er, and 1%ers do what the 99% won't. So we're gonna have to basically make sure that we're the farthest thing away from being an amateur. The customer experience is gonna have to be through the roof. We're gonna have to know how to do our job better than anybody else. And by the way, professionals don't choose their job as a job, they choose it as their life. They're ate up with it, they're obsessed with it. So that's the difference between you and your competition, or your competition and you. Stop getting distracted. Are you ready to turn your annual income into your monthly income? If you want to make more money in 2025 than ever before, you want to recreate your life, you want to put a financial fence around your family, you're ready to change, you got to be like my boy Tommy here. He's training on the Elliott Training Academy. Listen, it takes a couple things. Number one, life coaching. Leadership training. The quality of your life will always come down to the level of your leadership. So the life that you have now is because the leader that you are. It's time to change. If you're ready to change your life, download now. Number one, majority of the time, somebody outcares the other person. So my question to you right now, write this down, outcare, write that down. Do you outcare everybody else in your space? Do you? How's your presentation? Okay, when you speak, when you talk, when you guys work, is your system flawless? Hey, when I say what's the difference between you and your competition, I'm gonna tell you something. There's a lot of people that can sell something, but then when the delivery part comes around, which means like we actually go through to follow through what we just sold, that's weak. You feel me? Like what if a sales team from 1 to 10 is a 10, but the delivery of it, which means when they get the product, it's not any good, or when we go through to get them the product that they bought, it's a nightmare and pulling teeth to get that part done. right? Like maybe somebody has to install something, whether you're doing roofs, whether you're doing solar, right? Maybe we contract today. What if you sell cars and you go through and sell somebody a car today, but when they go into your service station, they hate the service station. They're never going to want to come back again. Okay? I see that a lot of the times there's great salespeople, but there's horrible delivery parts. So this could be a part of what separates you from your competition. So what I want you to do is just draw a map and an outline of all the moving buckets in your company. And I call them buckets because they're just buckets. Okay, they have people in them, they have systems, they have processes, and I want you to take those buckets and go through and look at each one of them. And if you can't peg this as an 11, well, you're only as good as your weakest link, okay? So that weak link is gonna bust you, and that other competition, that other salesperson, look, man, if they figure out your hole, they're gonna swipe you, okay? Like they're gonna freaking bust you up and they're gonna beat you, and I don't like to get beat. So the purpose of us training right now is that we need to identify what is the difference between you and your competition, and we've talked about from customer experience to the way we do our job, to literally, like, are we a pro or are we an amateur, right? What is our mindset? What's the mentality? What's the culture? Hey, this is a big one. What's the difference between you and your competition? Culture. Culture. It's not always pay, okay? Listen, you might have the ability to make good money, but I've seen a lot of people lose and leave a lot of great money jobs for better culture somewhere else. Okay, are you unrecruitable at the job you are at now? Or is your company doing such a good job that you're unrecruitable? Are you a consumer? Listen, what's the difference between you and your competition? Are you a consumer? Like every day you walk into work and you're like, wham, 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 what's in it for me? What can the company do for me today? Or are you a contributor? Do you come into the company and you make the company better every day because you bring heat to the company and you showed up fired up with winning energy and you invest in people and like you're infectious to be around and you make the company a better place because of you? Like this is another way, like what's the difference between you and your competition? So after we've gone through this video and you're viewing all these buckets, systems, processes, attitude, culture, how well we know our job, what are our leaks, go through them, find every hole and figure out how to make it from 1 to 10 and 11. And if you can do that, you'll never worry about somebody creeping up on you as long as you keep your foot on the gas. This is how to dust your competition. If you're ready to change your life, download now.